Hey everybody, how's it going? So very unfortunate timing whenever I released my Erika Kirk pretty much claps back at Candace Owens video. I dropped that video at the exact same time she did a second interview really blasting Candace Owens. So unfortunate timing, but hey, things happen for a reason. Candace Owens now is responding to it, so I can actually kind of talk about both at the exact same time. Candace Owens' response here is really bad, and her audience really isn't having it at all. It's actually hilarious. Obviously, she's going to retain some people, but I think this is when we start seeing Candace Owens to drop off dramatically. Thank you all so much for being here, though. Even if you're a Candace Owens fan and don't like me, thank you for clicking on the video, at least. I just ask that you make it to the end and hear my argument. That way, we can hash it out in the comment section, with actual, coherence, instead of, just covering stuff that I've already covered in the video because they didn't make it far enough, just to avoid confusion, really. Thank you all so much, and I just ask for a like and a subscribe. That's all. I don't beg for money. I don't ask people to join my book club and stuff like that and just milk money out of every single possible orifice I can milk it from like Candace does. So, genuinely, thank you guys for being here. Let's just grow this channel and see what happens, guys.
Talk to me about this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing?
According to Candace here and a few, no. But I just wanted to preface before this. She's saying, Candace said that Milo apparently has evidence that they haven't buried him yet or something. And they're looking into that now and stuff like that. It's actually quite disgusting what Candace suggests here.
Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie.
Now, Charlie probably won't be there, though, but they will build a public place for people to mourn Charlie, is essentially what she's saying. That way, if it gets vandalized and stuff like that, Charlie's actual site will be left alone.
For my Charlie. But can I have one thing? Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing. This is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that, but this is my husband.
And she's talking to Candace when she's saying my husband. Keep that in mind.
And I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
Okay, so on its face, I actually agree with that. I think that when people are being buried and where they're being buried and how their funerals are done, that is very private matter, okay? So,
but you're going to contradict it. It's a very private matter. And then she's going to go around and in the next sentence, as Candace does, decides it's actually not a private matter.
Objectively, I agree with what she's saying, okay? But subjectively, because we are dealing with the subject of Erika Kirk and what transpired immediately following Charlie's assassination, this is going to be read as Meghan Markle syndrome, okay? Meghan Markle syndrome,
no,
where
it's not.
You want privacy when you want it, but you want publicity whenever you want it, and that just doesn't work, okay?
Unless you go out of your way to make things private that are private. Candace, when you go to the bathroom and take a dump, I assure you, it's not for the world to see. There is such thing as closed doors. And if they don't want to give the location of where Charlie's at, guess what? They don't have to. And you thinking that you can demand it is completely and totally psychotic. You're insane. How dare you? You think you have the right to know exactly where his body is? No, you don't. And you'll never get it either, no matter how hard you cry and whine about it. It's none of your business. And if you go and you dig it up and you try to put that information out there, it's going to make you look so stupid. And I genuinely hope you go out of your way to attempt such a selfish, disgusting thing.
It doesn't work that way.
It does.
Honestly think it was said best by Bethany Frankel, not related to this situation. Bethany Frankel is on Real Housewives, a real a show, a reality show. And she was referring to one of the housewives who lived her life very publicly, showcased her marriage, was buying tons of Louis Vuitton bags, and they had tons of money. And then when their relationship soured, the housewife basically asked the public for privacy. And Bethany was like, no, this isn't how it works. Like, we were riding with you on the way up. We're riding with
Cool. So they could stay inside their house. Do you think that the public for some reason has access to the inside of her home? Like, it's different. When you're out in public, yes, the public has access to you. They'll recognize you. You don't get privacy in public. Totally understandable. But we're talking about a private gravesite at a private grave and Erika Kirk being in her private home. And you think she doesn't get privacy there? Even people who are ridiculously famous still have privacy to some degree. Okay? Nobody's saying that once Erika Kirk goes out into the public, that she is going to have privacy out there. Nobody made that claim, Candace. But you're talking about her not being allowed to have privacy in her own private home, at her own private events, at her own private areas. It doesn't make any sense for you to sit there and say, oh, well, this is Meghan Markle syndrome. No, it's not. Meghan Markle was asking for privacy in public. Okay? Nobody's going to give you the location of where Charlie is. You're never going to have it, and you need to get over it, Candace. We get it. You're obsessed with him. You want to know his every bit and whereabouts. But guess what, Candace? You weren't that close to him. So you do not get that access.
you on the way out. You don't get to like pick and choose when you want privacy and when you don't want privacy.
Yes, you do.
And subjectively, as it, you know, in the matter of Erika Kirk,
I just explained it.
This is the same person who had somebody record her over Charlie Kirk's casket. That was not our business, truly.
Okay.
And I can say that decision was made by her.
So if that wasn't our business, then why would his location be your business? Can you explain that?
There is, some credence to the claim that everybody grieves differently. I wouldn't even record myself over a casket ever, okay?
Cool.
Some people maybe perhaps want to have that memory. But the decision to publish that, you crying over your husband's casket, and to publish his dead body on Instagram was a decision that was made by Erika. And we can watch that. Take a look. I
guess. What point does this have? I'm going to get through this pretty quickly here.
That is an incredibly personal and an incredibly intimate moment that you invited the public into, okay?
Okay.
There was no reason to do that outside of wanting to share something that was very private with the public.
Congratulations, and she did that. Now, why doesn't she get to... She didn't have to post that at all. You're right. She did post it. She had that choice. So what do you mean she doesn't get to choose whether she has privacy or not? So you're losing me here, Candace. What is your point?
And now you fast forward 3 months removed, and it's why does the public want to know where he's buried? It doesn't work like that.
Well, it does work like that, because guess what? You're not going to get it, and she doesn't have to tell anyone. That's the best part about it, Candace. Like, who the hell are you to say, no, you must tell us? People are destroying his memorials all over the place. All over colleges, they're destroying them. Do you think she would like to give that information out so she can come back to a busted headstone every single month? Really? You think that that's okay? Why do you think she needs to tell you that information? It's not going to happen. Get over it.
That you have to make a decision. I want this always to be private, or I want this always to be public.
No,
that's my personal feedback there.
Okay, well,
later on in this same interview, she launches into a strong defense of Turning Point USA employees who have, just as a matter of fact, told many lies, many inconsistencies. These are verifiable.
Not as many lies as you've told.
They are currently lying to the public, or they have lied to the public, but she is going to deliver quite an impassioned defense regarding these particular individuals.
I think she's just mad because her dirty yeast infections, her dirty yeast infection lawsuit came out when she was squatting in that house, in that luxury apartment, got kicked out, and she tried to sue them for them giving her yeast infections. That's just crazy. I love that. That's going to be like the point I bring up every time now. Good job, Candace. But anyway, at the end of the day, she's like, well, I clearly had to put my yeast infections out there, so therefore nobody gets privacy now. Is that the angle you want to come from? I guess, maybe. I don't know. But they have not lied nearly as much as you have lied. I've caught you in several lies, especially like with your Kanye West thing and, obviously lying about not doxing kids in 2015, all that other crap. You've gotten caught lying. You've been caught lying so much, it's sad.
And the organization as a whole, and I want you to hear her passion. Take a listen.
Okay.
What are they taking from you right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it.
See if
we are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard. And I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there.
Including Candace. She's talking about Candace again, too. Here's the thing. There's been some nasty rumor that the case has been closed. I don't know who's been telling Candace and these other people that the case has been closed, but they're so wrong, it's sad. This case is going to be ongoing until the trial starts. Okay? It's pretty simple. There is no just closing the case. In fact, the case very well could remain open after the trial. They get the guy who pulled the trigger, but there's other people involved. There's Trantifa. There's a bunch of underground, sick people who are ending kids in churches who are a part of this. Nobody has said it is shut down and there's no more investigation. It's so crazy how often Candace lies. It's unbelievable, and yet she has the nerve to call out TPUSA at all.
So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going
That's
after the people that I
Candace.
love because somehow they're in on this, no.
Here we go.
I'm sorry, but that whole thing right there is frustrating. And
It's frustrating because you know that she's calling you directly out. And she's calling out your BS. And she's going to sit here and she's going to become a major hypocrite in a second. Watch this.
To explain to you why I just do not accept any of that. First and foremost, the idea that she does not have time. Okay, she definitely has time, okay? She's done Hannity, she's done The Five, she's done Fox and Friends, she's done Outnumbered, she's done Megyn Kelly Live, she sat down with the New York Times. She made time, by the way, in case you don't remember, to fly to D.C. for Sergio Gore to be sworn into the ambassador to India as the.
So hold on. She has time to travel and fly. You don't have any time to go to TPUSA? You've got 5 days, Candace. You could still, right now, decide, I'll go ahead and I'll go to TPUSA in person. And you would still have days left to prepare. Days left. You only need about 3 hours to prepare. You only need about 3 hours to prepare to go over to TPUSA's headquarters. But, you know, you got 5 days. You got nothing but time, Candace. Shut up or put up. Don't sit there and tell me that she has time. And here's the thing, what Erika actually meant. She doesn't have time for bullshit. That's what she doesn't have time for. Because she's busy building. That's what she was saying. You didn't like the fact that she straight up called you out. You don't like at all the fact that she said your work is garbage. Because that's what she was really saying. She said, feel free to go down that rabbit hole. My silence isn't complicit. It is not complacent with what you're saying. But I don't have time to deal with garbage like that. That's what Erika was saying. And you hate that.
Ambassador to India, which feels kind of obscure and not necessarily related to Turning Point USA affairs, building affairs, or whatever it is.
You
but
don't
sure,
know
that's
that.
fine. I mean, obviously, you're also allowed to be a
She
person.
could put a chapter of TPUSA in India. You have no freaking idea what she could be doing with TPUSA. And you don't really care that much either. They could be absolutely global, spreading their gospel, spreading their message in everything. It's what missionaries do. I don't know. You say it has nothing to do with TPUSA, but you actually have no idea.
And if that's the homie and that's what you want to do, sure. But we are indeed speaking about a coast-to-coast flight to stand up next to somebody and basically say, Charlie loved you. That was like the whatever 15-second speech that she gave, right? Here's actually, we have a clip of that speech that she gave.
Oh, okay.
Well, he was also very
I actually don't care about the speech that she gave whatsoever. Genuinely don't care. And this is just your sad excuse. She has time to do that. She's a CEO of a company that's much bigger than anything you do whatsoever, Candace, but you have somehow, magically, absolutely no time whatsoever to go to TPUSA to hash this out in front of them. You're scared, Candace. You're terrified to debate these people because you know they will clown on you.
She's also a person, and she can decide what she wants to do there. But the point that I'm making is that's a coastal flight that she made to be there to watch a paper get signed. She has also made time for an upcoming.
Yeah, really goes to show how low on the priority list you are. Really does, because you're garbage, Candace. Be mad at that. That's just the truth.
CBS News town hall sit down with Barry Weiss, which was filmed today. So. Yeah. Erika Kirk has time.
No, she doesn't have time for your garbage, Candace. See, this is why a guy with 20,000 subs, thank you all so much for getting me there, by the way, has time to deal with your garbage. I got some time. She's busy. She's actually doing something, Candace. Something productive. You're doing something destructive. That's the difference. You have been put in place to destroy, as you always do everywhere you go. Erika is building. It's the big difference between you and her. But anyway, tell me what you guys think down in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for being here. If you felt that I've earned that subscribe or that like, thank you guys so much for giving that to me. I can't thank you guys enough. You all are amazing. You all are the backbone of everything I do. Like, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. For those who don't know how I make my money, I work in a factory, okay? I work paycheck to paycheck. That's all I do. I don't get paid from anybody else. I don't take foreign money. I don't take anything, which is why the moment those people started saying I was receiving some sort of check from Israel, $7,000 a post or something like that, I instantly knew which side was the correct side. You did that, Candace. You did that. You opened my eyes to that. Because when I found out, oh, all these people are attacking me, and the other side is not, made it pretty obvious. And when you started a false accusation of $7,000 a post, well, it was pretty easy for me to make my decision, wasn't it? Because I saw instantly that the $7,000 posting was fake. Absolutely fake. So it was pretty easy for me to decide right then and there who was telling the truth and who wasn't. But anyway, thank you all so much again. Tell me down in the comment section what you think, and I'll see you guys here in the next one. Later.